Hey y'all, it's Chef Danielle coming to you from my underground lair, presented by Underground Baker, of course. I hope everyone's doing good out there. I'm missing you all in my classes, but don't worry, one day soon, we'll all be back together making magic, all right? And for all of you that are new to this, welcome. Welcome to the crazy, but welcome to the crazy good things we're gonna make together. We are going to start with some weeknight meals the next couple of days, weeks, who knows how long. But today we're going to do gnocchi. We're gonna make it with an easy cacio sauce, but we're also gonna do a primavera sauce too, which if you don't know what that is, it's just a mix of vegetables. Get our veggies in there, boost our immunity, and get us going for the rest of the day, okay? This is a great meal for all you people who are out there saving lives, you healthcare workers. Gnocchi can be frozen. They can be easily made in a couple minutes, and then you're done when you get home because you deserve that large glass of wine and an easy meal. So we're gonna make gnocchi. I'm gonna show you step by step, give you some tips and tricks for the trade, and we'll have a great, great time. I've missed you all. Let's get started. Can't start without my espresso though. Shout out to Java Joe's and La Veggio for the best coffee in town. Always support local, okay guys? So let's get started. Ingredients you're going to need are extra virgin olive oil, salt, 1 egg, 1 cup of ricotta, and 2 cups of flour. Ricotta, 2 cups of flour. Let's get started.
Action!
Gnocchi. Let's get started. What you're going to need are a clean empty bowl, a fork, and keep a measuring cup nearby. That's gonna help us put the flour in a little bit by a little bit, okay? Now, regular pasta usually is, you put all your flour in the bowl, make a well, and then add all your wet ingredients. You don't do that with gnocchi. It's kind of the reverse, okay? So don't go starting without me, people. This is how you make gnocchi. We're gonna take our 1 cup of ricotta and put it in our bowl. Now, a lot of people think that ricotta needs to be strained. When you buy it at the store, it comes in a container that looks like this. Okay, you can buy ricotta like this. It really doesn't need to be strained of the liquid. There's not a lot of liquid in there, so don't worry about doing that. Now, if you bought fresh ricotta, there is a lot of water, so I would strain that. But store-bought like that, don't worry about straining it. It'll be fine. 1 cup of ricotta. We're gonna take our 1 egg, put it right into the ricotta. And then I say, like you all know, a few bloops of the olive oil. What does that mean? About a tablespoon or 2. I like to go more towards the 2 tablespoons, so I go bloop, bloop. Ah, I missed the bloops. Okay. And then I put a pinch of salt. Now, if you're a measuring freak, like I know some of you are, it's about a teaspoon of salt, okay? All that in the bowl, I'm gonna mix it up. And it does not have to be perfect. We don't have to sit here for 10 hours mixing this up. It's just a quick mix. All right? Bam, done with that. Next step we're gonna do is start adding our flour. Now, I have you measure out 2 cups of flour, but we might not need all of it. That was my mother. What we're gonna do is put a little bit at a time, because unlike regular pasta dough, we're not gonna knead this dough a lot, and we don't want it to be too firm. Gnocchi are meant to be soft little pillows. So we might need all the 2 cups, or we might need less than that. So as I always say, and let me hear it out there in the world, you can always add flour, but you can't take it away. So go real slow with this. I start with my measuring cup, about doing a cup right into my dough, and start to mix it with your fork. All right, just a quick mix. If you don't want to use a fork, you're more than welcome to use your hands. As you all know, I like to get messy, so I will. And at some point, you will want to use your hands, okay? So I've added the 1 cup, and as you can see, as my cameraman will zoom in, okay, it's still nice and wet, and it hasn't really formed a dough, so I know I need a little bit more flour. So what I do after the 1 cup of flour is incorporated, I then go about a 1/4 cup at a time until my dough comes together. So I put in another 1/4 cup, and as you can see, And I'm gonna put this down on my board just so you guys can see it a little bit better. Get all that dough out of there. Don't waste for nothing, right? Okay, I'm gonna kind of bring it together. And you can see it's a little bit sticky, but it's already coming together. I'm just gonna gently roll and knead it. Now, it's pretty sticky in places, so I'm gonna do 1 more 1/4 cup, sprinkle it over, and I'm gonna gently mix that. Now, it's not a vigorous kneading like I used to tell you guys when we make regular pasta dough. It's just a light knead. Gnocchi does not need to be kneaded like we do regular pasta dough, okay? So as you can see, it's no longer sticky, but it's still nice and soft, okay? I'm not gonna over knead it. I'm gonna just press on it lightly. So I'm just gonna knead it softly, just until it's nice and smooth, all right? But it still feels very soft, and there it is, okay? It's nice and soft. It's just holding its shape like that, not too sticky. It's not staying with my hand when I squeeze it, okay? And that is when we're gonna let it rest for a little while. Now, gnocchi, you don't have to let it rest, but you got some other things to do. Go ahead and wrap it. I sometimes use the bowl I used and just cover it like that while I walk away and clean up or do whatever I have to do. Now, we still have a little extra flour left in that bowl from the 2 cups of flour. Keep that nearby. We're gonna need that for after we roll these out and tweak them, not twerk, I said tweak. And we're gonna use that flour all up, okay? So, now it's time for rolling and cutting. For this next part, to shape the gnocchi, all you're gonna need is my handy dandy bench scraper. You guys all know this is one of my favorite tools. Everybody should have a bench scraper in their kitchen. And if you want to know where to find one, a really dope one that I use, especially the ones in my classes, you'll see a link below on Underground Baker Facebook page to show you where to get an awesome bench scraper. But you're going to need your bench scraper. We're going to use that extra flour that we didn't incorporate into the pasta. And that's about it, okay? Now I want you to revert back. Go ahead, regress a little to your kindergarten days where you would take Play-Doh and you would make those long snakes. That's gonna be our first step in making gnocchi. So what I like to do is take my dough, take the bench scraper, and give myself little pieces, okay? Wanna work little batches at a time. These are gonna be our snakes, okay? I then take my bench scraper and I give myself a nice clean area. You don't want a lot of flour down because if you start to roll in a lot of flour, it'll just slip all over the place and it won't roll out how you want it. So take your first piece of dough, all right? No flour down yet, and you start to roll as if you were back in kindergarten. We're gonna make some snakes. It's all good and fun, okay? Now, the size of your gnocchi are up to you. If you like really fat, big gnocchi, you want to roll out your dough to have a thicker snake. If you like them little, okay, just keep rolling until you get a thinner snake, and then you'll get little gnocchi, okay? I do about a medium size so I don't get yelled at by my family. Right, Marco, you like them what size? Marco, what size do you like? You like them thinner or thicker?
Thinner.
Heard, I knew that was coming. All right, so let's roll out our snake to the size we desire. Just whenever you're ready. Okay, cut. So we're just rolling snakes right now, and this is a great time to get your kids involved. I mean, who doesn't love rolling pasta dough out, okay? But go ahead and start rolling all your snakes. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can roll all your snakes out and just kind of leave them to the side, okay? Or just do them one by one, okay? Make one snake and then we're gonna go ahead and cut them. So to do that, I take my snake, I make sure there's a little bit of flour down, okay? Now you can either use a bench scraper or I'm gonna grab a knife, a chef knife, something really sharp. But you can go ahead and just use your bench scraper. I'll show you both. Now, again, size is up to you. You can either make them a little bit bigger or you can make them really teeny, okay? I do about a medium size. So remember, we're always curling those fingers under because we're gonna cut like this and move our hand back as we cut, okay? So I'm just gonna cut like this and make my little pillow shape. Okay, cut. So now that you have your pillows cut out, we're gonna do the tweaking part. It's not twerking. If you wanna do a little twerk, go ahead, but this is tweaking. And all it is using your thumbs, and you wanna change the shape of the gnocchi. So right now, it just, see that? It's getting excited. Right now, it's just a little square, okay, from what you cut. But what you wanna do is be able to make a little indent, okay, in the center. So if you can see that. All right, so we just want to change the shape of it so it doesn't look so uniformed and cut. So how we do that is we use our thumb, I grab a pasta and I roll it, okay? Take it, and this takes a little practice. After a while you get really, really fast with it. But just slowly rolling your thumb and making that little indent. Cut, now come close. So that's it. Our gnocchi are cut. They're ready to go. So at this point, we would boil our water and make our sauce and boil and eat, and they'll be ready to go in no time at all. Or this is the time that you would freeze the gnocchi, okay? This freezes beautifully for 3 to 4 months in the freezer. All I would do is you can use a sheet pan or just use a Ziploc bag and lay them flat. Make sure there's plenty of flour on them so they don't stick together, and throw them in the freezer. And then take them out of the freezer. They don't need to thaw. You put them right into the boiling water and they're ready to go. That's all. That's how easy pasta is, okay? So our gnocchi are done. They can just sit here and hang out while we get our sauces ready, and it's almost time for Mangia. Let's get started. Can you see me?
No.
The pasta's done. The kids are driving you crazy. So let's all grab a glass of wine and make some sauces for our gnocchi. Chin chin. We're gonna try to make 2 sauces. Not try, it's gonna happen. We're gonna make a Primavera sauce, which is just a mixed vegetable sauce. A little white wine, a little chicken stock, a little olive oil. It's gonna be perfecto. And then I'm gonna show you a quick cacio sauce, which is just a cheese sauce. So you don't have to always do both, you just do one or another. I'm just showing you some quick ones, okay? Do the Primavera first, which you can use any kind of vegetable you have. So whatever you have in the refrigerator, frozen vegetables, or like me tonight, I'm gonna use some leftover broccoli that I made way too much of yesterday, and we're gonna add that to our sauce too. So what you need for your sauce is a hot saute pan, okay? I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil to it. And just a couple tablespoons, all right? It's about a medium-high heat, okay? I'm gonna start sauteing some garlic. Now this is just roughly chopped, about 3 cloves of garlic. I love garlic, so you know, if you wanna put more, put more. If you don't really like garlic, don't put a lot of garlic, okay? The vegetables I'm using are tomatoes. I have some fresh broccoli, because I love broccoli, so we're gonna overdo the broccoli. And I have some carrots, about 2 carrots that I peeled and sliced, okay? Now, vegetables seems kind of straightforward. Let's just saute some vegetables and go. But that's not the case. Some vegetables are harder than others, right? So a carrot is harder in texture than a tomato. So your harder vegetables you want to saute first. So I'm going to start with my broccoli and carrots, okay? Put that in. Let those saute for a few minutes, just so those carrots get a little bit soft. Now, this is broccolini. This is this different kind of broccoli. It looks a little different than broccoli itself. It's a little bit thinner stalks. It's just a great flavor. So I had some, just a little bit left over in my fridge. Throwing it in the Primavera, because that's what we do, okay? And I just let those saute just a few minutes. I'm at a medium-high heat, okay? And then I'm going to add the tomatoes and get those sauteed. Right over the top of it. So we got all our vegetables now sauteing. I turned down my heat a little bit. So it's just at about a medium right now, just to keep them nice and warm. And now we're gonna do a little bit of seasoning on them. I used pepper. You can use one that's in a pepper mill, just ground whatever you have, okay? Just do a little bit of that, just go right around. Obviously salt, okay? A few teaspoons of that. I like to use garlic powder. I know there's already garlic in there, but I go ahead and add a little bit of that. And these are a couple teaspoons, about 1 or 2 teaspoons, because you always can build up the flavor as you go. I do some dry parsley. All right, and then I do oregano. And if you want to add other, herbs, you want to add some dry basil and Italian seasoning, go ahead and do that also. All right, we're just going to give that a quick little stir. All right. Everything's nice nicely seasoned now. And there we go. So we did our seasoning. And now comes for the part where we want to actually make a sauce, okay? So what you're going to need for this is I use white wine, compliments of Southbridge wines over on the south side of Binghamton, thank you. And I use a little chicken stock, okay? If for some reason you don't have white wine, it is fine. This can be just an oil-based sauce with a little chicken stock. You could do a little bit of lemon in there if you want. But white wine is a great acidity for it, and it just deglazes the pan a little bit, and it's wonderful. So I'm going to add a little bit of that. I'm going to say it's about 1/4 to a 1/2 cup, and then you drink the rest. Okay? And then I add a little bit of chicken stock. If you have vegetable stock, go ahead and use that. Someone vegetarian in your family. But chicken or vegetable usually works the best. Okay? I do about the same. It's about 1/4 or a 1/2. Okay, and I just add that. All right. And then one last time, I do one little extra drizzle of olive oil, because when we sauteed all those vegetables, they soaked up that olive oil. So I want to make sure we have that nice flavor in there. Okay. Now, I just let that be. I give it a little bit of a turn. Okay. And I just leave that on low, like a medium low. I let that simmer, I let that sauce all come together, and just let it sit there and simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. And that's when we're gonna boil our pasta, and that sauce is already done. We give it one last taste, season it a little bit more how we want it, and it's gonna be excellent. So our water has a nice rolling boil to it. So I'm gonna add the gnocchi now, get those ready to go, and then we're gonna eat. I'll make the quick cacio sauce, show you guys how to do that, and then we'll be ready to go. So you know your gnocchi are ready because they'll float to the top of the water, and fresh pasta is all alike. It cooks pretty quick. You're talking about 30 to 45 seconds, depending on how thick the pasta is. So they're floating to the top, okay? And at this point you could dump the whole thing of water into a strainer into your sink, or use kind of a cool gadget like this to get your pasta out. So we're gonna leave the Primavera there. I turn the heat off to it, it's ready to go. But I'm gonna show you how to do the cacio. So you reserve about 1 cup of the pasta water, okay? You're gonna need about 1 cup of grated cheese, and I have 1 stick of butter in here already, just starting to melt. I'm gonna take part of the pasta and put it right into that butter. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this half and half, and I'll take my other half and put it right into the Primavera. Right, half and half. Cacio is a great sauce for kiddos who are picky eaters because it literally is butter and cheese and a little bit of cracked pepper. Okay, you can't forget the cracked pepper because that's a big part of it. So I have the gnocchi in the butter right now. I'm going to swirl them around. I'm going to add the grated cheese to it, all of it. Just throw the whole thing in. Okay. And I'm going to slowly add a little bit of the pasta water just to make it turn into a nice sauce. Because pasta water is very starchy from all that pasta. So you're going to get a really nice sauce. And it's going to soak it up, it's going to thicken up a little bit, and it's going to be perfect. Now, I do a little bit of fresh cracked pepper on the top because the official name of this dish is cacio de pep. So, cacio, cheese, pep is the pepper, right? Get that around, and I just let that heat and just come together. It's a really, really easy sauce. Stop there. Oh yeah, cacio de pep. We're done. We made a super quick sauce, 2 super quick sauce. We have our Primavera and we have our cacio. How I finish off the Primavera, if you have some awesome fresh herbs, I do a little parsley on the top. Just shred it. And always some cheese. Who doesn't love cheese? This is a pecorino romano, and that's what I used for the cacio, and it's like the best ever. And for the cacio, a little extra cheese on the top. All right, and if you're like my son, he loves a lot of pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Put some on there, and that's it. You got 2 different meals, and you're ready to go. So that's it for me, guys. I'm back. We're doing classes. We're having a good time. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave comments. You know where to contact me. Facebook at Underground Baker if you have any questions. And remember, stay safe, stay healthy, stay away from each other for now, and drink lots and lots of wine. Bye, guys. See you next time.